Now, conference play got underway for the Fresno State football team Saturday night in Albuquerque. The Dogs looking for a little revenge here after the Lobos spoiled senior night a year ago at Valley Children's Stadium. The Dogs about a 2-touchdown favorite against winless New Mexico. The Lobos had played the likes of Arizona and Auburn pretty tough under new head coach Bronco Mendenhall. So the Dogs knew they would need to be ready, and they were. First quarter, after a Lobo fumble, that's Mikey Keene to Josiah Freeman, who is healthy again. That's great to see. They had a 2-pointer on a Jaden Mandel pass. It was 8-0. Now, starting running back Malik Sherrod did not play in this game, but both Elijah Gilliam and true freshman Bryson Donaldson ran well. That's Donaldson scoring his first career TD in the second quarter. Kicker Dylan Lynch would make it 18-3 a short time later with that field goal. Then later in the quarter, the defense would get the second of their 3 turnovers, courtesy of corner Alzillian Hamilton. That's the 9th turnover already this season for Kevin Coyle's defense. And shortly before halftime, well, offensive coordinator Pat McCann, he digs into his bag of tricks for the old double pass. Raylan Sharp to Cameron Beecham. That's a 26-yard score, and that's a dime. Take a couple more looks at this throw. Sharp showing the skills that made him a great high school quarterback in the state of Texas. Just an absolute laser there to Beecham. It was 25-10 at half. The Lobos would never get within one score the rest of the way. 38-21 was the final as the Dogs moved to 3-1 on the year. First Mountain West win for interim head coach Tim Skipper.
Feels great. Gonna celebrate it for 24 hours, and then we got a huge week coming up. So we're gonna have fun with it. It'll be a fun flight home. We got some aches and bruises. We're gonna get treatment Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday's Dirty Tuesday. We're gonna get back to work.
I think we're playing real physical. Yeah, so I think we just need to keep that up and just play with energy, and we'll be good. I think the attitude every week is just out physical everybody, so I think that's the mentality that Coach Skip gives to us, so we just take that in from him.
Coming back in, finally being able to step in and feel like I left off, keep going where I left off before I got hurt, so it feels pretty good. I'm just happy that I was able to be back and contribute to this win and just be here, celebrate with my teammates and my coaches.
All right, here's a look at some of the numbers. Mikey Keene, he completed nearly 80% of his passes with no picks. Elijah Gilliam, the leading rusher for the Dogs. Raylan Sharp, the leading receiver. Linebacker Tua Sibi Nomura was big on D. 16 tackles for the USC transfer. And turnovers were really big. The Dogs actually got outgained by 140 yards in this game, but those 3 turnovers for the 3rd straight game were very helpful. Time for some analysis from Fresno State insider Jackson Moore. He goes 3 and out from Albuquerque with our own Dylan Morgan.
Yeah, Dylan Morgan here, joined directly after the ball game. Fresno State picking up that 38-21 win over New Mexico. Jackson Moore here, the Fresno State insider from 247 Sports. Obviously, big dominant first half. Walk me through what you saw in the start and how the Dogs kind of continued to roll throughout the ball game.
Yeah, that didn't start out great. A couple of drops right on the first drive, 3 and out, and then here comes the defense. They get a fumble. All of a sudden, it's 8-0 actually with the 2-point conversion. So, it just felt like this game wasn't pretty for 60 minutes, but you win the turnover battle 3-0. Mikey Keene didn't have any major mistakes. He slung it around. 10 different receivers, I believe, caught passes today. And even without Malik Sherrod playing in this game, the offense did more than they needed to do to get this win.
And you kind of touched upon it a little bit, that defense continuing to stack up those turnovers in 2024 and picking up some really timely stops, throughout the ball game as well. What really stood out to you in their game planning and how they attacked this one?
Yeah, this was a tricky one because New Mexico, they like to get the game a little bit sloppy. They like their quarterback to just buy a bunch of time and find an open guy downfield, and there just weren't many of those plays. There was a couple of times the Lobos kind of got in rhythm and moved the ball downfield, but for the most part, the Bulldogs were very stingy on defense, and again, those 3 turnovers were huge. The 2 interceptions as well. Cam Lockridge shared them a little bit today. Alzillian Hamilton got one, Julian Neal got one. So, all the turnovers were big.
And did you also kind of feel that there was some meat left on the bone kind of in some of those possessions towards the end of the ball game?
Yeah, it started to feel like they really got in here to try to get in and out with the win without, going the extra mile perhaps. If they could be a little vanilla, if they could grind out that clock in the second half, it looked like that's what they wanted to do and maybe save some wear and tear for UNLV. The Lobos, they kind of kept, it was a lot like Sacramento State. They just wouldn't quite let the Bulldogs put all their reserves in. But, each time the Bulldogs needed to make sure they kept this game at bay, the offense came out and they got a score.
Thank you for your time, Jackson. That's the 3 and out for Sports Central. I'm Dylan Morgan.